Hello there and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be back on my stool. I've been in Italy for the past week. We had a wonderful time. We got back this morning and I thought, do you know what? Yes, we have mountains of laundry to do, but feck it. I'm going to test out this palette because I've been so excited like all the way throughout my holiday. So the palette that has got in the way of me doing my laundry, and by the way, if it wasn't this palette, I would have found some other excuse for not doing the laundry, be it watching 90 Day Fiance, which by the way, Honeys has recently got into and I'm loving life because now I can watch it with him and we can talk about it, so I'm loving that. Oh, but anyway, I would have found some other excuse. I would have shaved my legs, waxed my vagina. I would have done anything to have not done the laundry, honestly. But anyway, guys, this is so much more exciting. So this is the brand new Magic Spell eyeshadow palette from UCANBE. UCANBE did send this to me. They also sent me, wait guys, don't go anywhere. They also sent me the Altered palette, which looks like this, absolutely gorgeous. And they also sent me the Starry palette, which the camera's not really picking it up, but it's kind of embossed with this kind of black glitter. It's quite textured and you've got the rainbow text in the middle. Oh my gosh, this is a grab your panties glittery palette. I don't know why you grab your panties, but anyway, it's a beautiful glittery palette. So I am going to be doing reviews on both of these eyeshadow palettes, but the one that most got me excited was definitely the Magic Spell palette. A lot of people have been saying that they think that this palette looks to be a dupe of the Lime Crime Venus 2 palette. It features a lot of kind of green shades. So we've got kind of a very kind of icy light green. You've got a real kind of pop of neon green. You've got one of their what I call marbleized shimmers, where you've got like little specks of like almost like an opal shade. You've got an emerald green of that. You've got beautiful, kind of very light, whimsical rose golds. It is a very cool tone palette. Nothing about this is warm. So if you're a fan of warm tone palettes, this probably is not going to be the ideal video for you. I think overall this palette looks to be pretty unique. I've not seen many palettes like this apart from the Venus palette, of course, by Lime Crime. I think that the packaging is so adorable. It looks like something out of a fairy tale. So this is called the Magic Spell palette. It costs £6.40 from the UCANBE official store on AliExpress. So I think off the bat, it's really, really good value. Of course, we've not actually tried it yet. The formula may be terrible, but compared to a lot of other new releases on AliExpress, I do think that £6.40, like UCANBE, are definitely keeping it real with their prices. So I absolutely adore this beautiful packaging. It just makes me think of like a little treasure chest, like a fairy's treasure chest. She's got all of her fairy shit in there. I don't know what fairies have. Many people have claimed that they believe that this palette is a dupe of the Lime Crime Venus 2, and when I look at it, I definitely would agree. It just screams the Venus 2 to me. UCANBE also did a dupe of the Lime Crime Venus 1 palette, and in my opinion, I really do feel like the UCANBE dupe is so much better. It's so much more pigmented. I just think that the formula is so much easier to work with. So they have already definitely duped the Venus 1 palette. I do think they're going in for, you know, part 2. I've not tried the Venus 2 palette by Lime Crime, so I can't do like a direct comparison, but yeah, I would definitely say that their dupe of the first palette was better. So I'm going into this like really, really excited. And also, you know, I've tried probably every single UCANBE product going at this point. Overall, the quality for the price you pay is exceptional. I did go ahead and do the swatches earlier, so I'm going to show you those now. Definitely was impressed with the formula for the most part. However, what did kind of surprise me in not so much of a positive way, was that I thought that a lot of the shimmers were more like topper shades. They weren't very pigmented or very opaque. When I swatched them like on the fingertip, they looked like they were going to, you know, bring the house down. But then when I glided them on my skin, they did seem rather transparent. Beautiful, like they were beautifully transparent, but they were transparent, which I was a little bit disappointed in. I did also feel like some of the mattes could have been a little bit more pigmented, but again, like, these are swatches, and you know, swatches, they live a life of their own. I'm just going to pop a little bit of this. I just really want my base to be neutralized. Does that make any sense, like, whatsoever? I want my base to be neutralized. Oh my gosh, this video is going to be so long. You let me know in the comments, do you like long videos when I'm just like talking incessantly? Because some people very rudely will comment things like video starts at 2:01, and do you know what, that really grinds my gears. I'm a bit worried, guys, that I've like lost all my makeup skills, which, by the way, there's not many, like there's not many to lose, but I'm worried like I've lost all my makeup skills. I'm worried that I won't be able to drive again. Like, have I lost all my driving skills? Like, have I just lost my skills? Will I go into work and not know how to turn a computer on? Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, what? As Christy advised, rightly as well, Christy, I'm not going to set the base. I'm just going to let the base be free. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so we're going to go in with this shade first. So I'm going to get my tiny little pencil brush and I'm going to dip it in. Do you know what? I'm going to use the mirror in the palette because, like, she's here. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm struggling a little bit to get a good angle here, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this so far. I know I've only done like the tiniest bit, but this is like a really, really beautiful shade. Almost has like a shimmery look to it, whereas like in the pan it appears to be matte. Like, I thought this was matte, but actually, as I'm looking at it now, it definitely has a lot of shimmer to it. I only swatched these like about half an hour ago, but I obviously have no memory whatsoever. I'm going to get a little bit of Fix Plus, and it's not Fix Plus. Oh my gosh, I'm so used to saying that, and I've heard people say it so many times. It's like etched in my mind. I'm going to use my Morphe setting spray just to kind of wet the tip of my brush, dip it back into this beautiful shade. Although I am loving it, I'm finding it a little bit like too understated. Like, I want a pop of mint green in my inner corner. Like, is that too much to ask? Like, is it? It looks really beautiful in there. It's quite subtle, but I do think it looks very ethereal and whimsical and all those other words that we don't really know what the meaning is, but we just go with it anyway. I think it's a beautiful shade. It's super brightening, but I would love it to just be a tad bit more pigmented. But then maybe if it was a tad bit more pigmented, it wouldn't have that same beautiful like angelicness that it actually does have. No. Next, we are going to do a little bit of crease work. I think I'm going to begin by going into this shade here called Bewitchment. It's kind of like a light, very light tan beigey brown. It does look like maybe it has an undertone of green to it, or maybe I'm just imagining that. I'm going to pop that into the crease. Oh my gosh, this brush is way too big for crease work. What was I even thinking? Okay, so again, like, I don't think she's the most pigmented, but I really do like this shade. I think it's like a perfect cool toned transition. It's not too overbearing, but it just kind of contours the eye really, really beautifully. If I ever create my own palette, I'm definitely going to create a cool tone palette. Look at me hinting away. I mean, really, guys, you never know. One day. Okay, so this is blending out really beautifully, and I think we're definitely getting somewhere as well. It's building up really, really nicely, just what you would hope for. You know, I've not got any kind of disappointments at all, and I'm getting like really kind of, you know, Witch from the Swamp vibes in like the best kind of way. So next we're going to move on to the under eye. I am going to go into, oh shit, I just don't know. Like, I felt like I knew, but I don't. I'm actually going to try out Invisible, which is a kind of, oh, the only way I can describe it, guys, poo brown. Like poo brown. Like literally sums it up perfectly. And I don't mean that badly, but that's what it makes me think of. And that's great because poo is natural. It's a natural function. Okay, so that's absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh, the poo brown is bringing us all the way to Planet Fantastic. Super pigmented. Super pigmented. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Love the shade. And actually, it is a little bit warm as well. Like this, I probably would say, is the warmest shade in the palette. So it's kind of nice to have an option there, you know. Oh my gosh, I really love that. I love it so much. I'm going to pop that on the outer vagina. Oh my gosh, guys. You know, as I was away, I was starting to see all of the drama going on with the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks. And last night I just thought, you know what, I'm going to just watch a couple of videos because when you hear like so much about something, like at first I could not have cared less, but then the more I started like seeing like posts and, you know, things about it, I just started caring. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I need to find out. So I watched Raw Beauty Christie's video last night and that girl Shay's video, and I watched a few videos, guys. Like I really did. I was loving it. I was living for the drama last night. Because at first I kind of felt really bad on Jaclyn, and I was thinking of people like planting these fuzzies on the lipsticks because there's a lot of people that just don't want Jaclyn to do well. But actually, after watching Raw Beauty Christie's video and that girl Shay, and there's another one I watched, but I can never remember her name. Like I don't know why. You know, like, do you ever have that way where you just have a name and you can never remember the name? Nikita Joy, I think. Nikita Joy. I really love her. Like, she's so nice and so genuine. I think she's wonderful. Like, and the same with Raw Beauty Christie and that girl Shay. All three of them are some of the most relatable, like, gorgeous YouTubers around. I believe that they're really like honest and down to earth, and if they're saying the lipsticks are bothersome, then I believe it, you know. And I think Jaclyn, she needs to own up and recall those lipsticks, or just apologize, I think, because they're so bad. Oh my gosh. But by the way, like, on a positive note, I'm living for this palette. I am living. There are no fibers on this eyeshadow palette. There are no holes in this eyeshadow palette. There are no meltingness on this eyeshadow palette. So underneath where I put the poo brown, I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't call it poo brown, and I know there's gonna be loads of people who are like, Anwen, like, why are you being so juvenile right now? And I get it. Like, that's what it made me think, in a good way, not in a bad way. Going back in with that beautiful greeny shade that we popped in the inner corner, and I'm just kind of lacing the under eye with that. Oh yes, oh yes bitch, yes bitch, yes. Right, so guys, next, what are we doing next? I'm gonna pop, what am I doing? Do you know what I'm gonna do? Right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a little bit more of the beautiful green shade that we put on the inner corner. I'm taking that up onto the lid. I'm going to get my conceal and define, and I'm going to pop that on just on the middle of the eyelid. So I'm just going to pop that on there. Sorry, can you see anything? Probably not. Sometimes I forget, like, I'm filming. I'm just like in a little world of my own. Oh shit, I did not want that much on. Do you know what? Using your finger is far better than using a brush, I feel. Oh shit, I feel like I've just completely fecked the whole thing up. What? Like, I was loving it, and now I've just fecked it up. Oh, Shania Twain, guys. Like, really, Shania fecking Twain. Okay, feck it, right. So, okay, we're going to go in with a shimmer, and I really want to try this emerald one. I think it's going to really pop with my hair. And also, this is the marble eye shimmer that I was telling you about. I don't know if you can see, you know, the little accents of opal in there. I think it looks so cool. Right, I'm going to pop down that mirror. I'm going to get out my little glittery sensation. I'm just going to use my finger to apply the marble eye shimmer. Now, I have tried a few of these marble eye shimmers before by different brands. I've tried UCANBE, of course. I've tried Beauty Glaze, and I've also tried Focalyours version. And they are typically very sheer. So I wasn't really expecting like a huge impact here. But like, I think it's really beautiful. It's such a buttery, kind of silky, soft, textured shade. Really, really easy to apply. It's got a beautiful shimmer going on. It's kind of duochrome. You've got green, you've got a little bit of like a yellowy gold. I just think it's really gorgeous, and I feel like I'm creating like a green kind of rainbow upon my eye. I'm just going to wet my finger again. I'm going to just use what God gave me. Like, I'm not even religious. I'm going to use... Oh, I don't know. This is looking like I'm just being seductive, and I'm really not. So I'm going to dip it, like I've dipped it into the Morphe setting spray, and I'm just going to go back in, just gently tapping on the lid. We really want to get the absolute most from this. Okay, so there we go. I think it looks really, really beautiful, but I do feel like I just want to maybe try and make that inner corner pop a bit more. So I'm going to go back in with this brush. I'm going to lick it. I'm licking it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that was a little bit inappropriate for a second back there. And I am going to dip into this shade here. I'm going to just pop that in my inner corner just to brighten everything up, maybe just a little bit more. Nothing is happening. What? Okay, I think it was that brush, because that was a brush I used with the cut crease thing. So I'm going to change my brush. Which brush am I using? Oh yes. Oh yes, bitch yes. Oh yes, bitch yes. Loving it. Oh, loving it. We are excited about that. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so next I just want to make my outer vagina and crease just a little bit more poppy. You know, I just want it to be popping all over town. So I am going to go into the darkest shade in the palette, which is this one. Oh, it's called Evil. This is a beautiful kind of dark brown, but it almost has an aubergine in it. So I'm just going to like pat that on the outer vagina. And I'm going to take this right up and over the crease. And I'm loving it. I am loving this shade, guys. It's actually got quite a lot of warmth to it, I would say. Like, it's very dark and mystical, but it's also quite forgiving in that it has a little bit of, I don't know, just like... Oh, wow, guys. I looked in the magnified side of my mirror and all I saw was like green. I was like, whoa, hold back. So I'm just going to take this all around the crease so that we have a really dark, smoky look. I want it to look like I'm a mermaid who's come back to take revenge on the sailors that killed me. That's the look I'm going for today, guys. The mermaid's revenge, we'll call it. So I'm going to do a wing, and I'm going to use one of UCANBE's metallic eyeliners. These are absolutely brilliant. They have released them in some beautiful shades. You've got emerald green that we're going to use today. We've got a beautiful purple, gold, silver and blue. I just think this would be like the perfect moment to bash out the emerald green. So also, I'm not the best at wing liner, so please prepare yourself for failure. But this is what she looks like. So gorgeous. Okay, so I did an okay job of the wing, but I have to try and replicate this on the other eye, and that's where the disasters usually happen. Okay, so I'm just finishing off the other eye, and I have just gone in with Rune, which is this beautiful shimmer on the inner corner. Like, I've just added some of that to this side, and I have to now add some over to the other side because it is gorgeous. Probably my favorite shade in the palette. It is definitely green, but then it's also kind of duochrome. It has these beautiful kind of yellowy gold shimmers in it, and I just think it's adding a whole new dimension to the whole look. It does have little glitters in there. It's super silky, super smooth, and just beautiful applied with your finger. It is even without a wet finger. Like I was going to say wet brush. Wet finger sounds really bizarre, but I've not used a wet finger. But I've not used one, like I've not. And I just think that looks so gorgeous. So I'm just going to finish off. I'm going to pop a little bit more of the shade Evil. I'm going to pop that just into my crease a little bit more, and then I'll be back with the final thoughts. I promise. Like I promise. Okay, so this is the final look. I did the other eye, and do you know what? This is a green kind of look that I don't think I've ever created before. I have used a green palette by Dupe before, and I really loved it. And it's really bizarre because I don't ever feel like I'm a green kind of girl. Like I don't think green is a shade that I gravitate to for my makeup, but whenever I have used green for my makeup on the rare occasions, like maybe 2 occasions that I've used green, I've actually really liked the look, and this is no exception. I think the green and this kind of almost like plummy kind of deep brown just look so magnificent together. It's kind of wearable as well in a strange kind of way. Like I don't necessarily think that this would be like my go-to office kind of situation. However, I don't actually think it's too wild and, you know, out there that you couldn't just go to Tesco like this. Like I think you could go to Tesco and you wouldn't get too many strange looks, you know, and even if you did, well, who cares, you know. I forgot to curl my lashes. I also forgot to do my bottom lashes. So guys, please excuse me while I just actually go ahead and finish off the look properly. Do you know what I mean, guys? Okay, you'll be pleased to know I feel satisfied that I have actually finished my look this time. So overall, I am a real fan of the palette. I would definitely recommend it if you looked at this and thought, oh yes, baby, like bitch, yes, then I would definitely recommend you get it, because I don't think you'd be disappointed from the formula. Yes, I would like maybe to have a couple of very bombastically fantastic opaque shimmers in there, but I don't necessarily think that's what this palette's all about. This palette is more angelic, you know what I mean? If you had like a really bold opaque green shimmer, it could be a little bit like much. So I can only imagine that that's why they've tried to, I don't know, they've put more like toppery kind of shades in. However, saying that, I do think we've got a real kind of burst of like green, mint green, emerald green, duochrome green, goldy yellowy green. I'm going to look up some reviews of the Lime Crime 2 Venus palette. Lime Crime 2 feet, what? It's not, is it? It's not Lime Crime 2. I'm going to look up some reviews of the Venus 2 palette just to see, you know, just based on the swatches of that palette and maybe how it applies. I think I'll be able to like gauge a good opinion as to how it might compare to this palette. I've got no complaints, like, and no complaints, or do I? No, do you know what? I've got no complaints. I feel like the mattes are not the most pigmented, but as with many of the UCANBE eyeshadow formulas, they build up really quickly. I am a fan. She's a fan. I was a judge on Britain's Got Talent, sat next to Simon Cowell. I would do the gold buzzer because I'd be like, yes, gold buzzer bitch, because it's just unique and magnificent, something a little bit different and fecking cool toned. So it would get the gold buzzer from me. I think I might start rating like palettes. Would I do gold buzzer or red buzzer? What would I do? Or would I just say yes? Okay, that's fine. It's a yes from me. Just want to say thank you again to UCANBE for sending me this palette. I have had so much fun trying it out today, and I think she is beautiful. Thank you so much to you guys for watching the video. Please could you let me know in the comments down below if you've tried this palette, what did you think? And if you've not tried the palette but you would like to, are you going to get it? What do you think? Just let me know, guys. Let's discuss downstairs. I'm going to go now before I talk anymore. So anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye! A boy! A boy!